now making the rounds on social media, shows the moment Governor Months of Okpebholo compared his administration's achievements to those of his predecessor, Gov Okpebholo, during a rally in Benin City. The governor stated that he had been told that he had done more in just 8 months in terms of development than the 8 years of his predecessor. Let's take a look.
It is painful for somebody to serve a master for 8 years and nothing to show for it. Somebody was telling me your 8 months is more than 8 years of PDP in terms of development. We commissioned a door line. Before we commissioned a door line, let me tell you one secret. All the debts over a door line was paid by us. We did not just buy the vehicles. We did not put infrastructures on ground, but we paid the debt we made. There are many things we are doing that we are not showcasing.
Okay. Yes, those people, greetings to you all, and of course, I want to talk about this. I saw this video some days ago, and it caught my attention. I thought I would talk about it because from the way the governor sounded, I see a problem, and I think that we are duty bound to acknowledge that there's an issue, a mental issue, and if the governor will run the state having things like this in mind, then there's going to be a huge problem. And I thought I would talk about this. He said he's been told that his 8 months is already better than 8 years of Obaseki. And of course, the governor made reference to a door line, for which personally I have acknowledged him for and praised him for his dexterity to get that done. And I thought that's a very, it's a laudable project. The governor started, he echoed something in this broadcast, in this address, that I find quite troubling, because all through the governor's campaign, somehow he's always echoed things like that. Let's take a listen so we can acknowledge that particular point.
But meanwhile, a video now making the rounds on social media shows the moment Governor Months of Okpebholo compared his administration's achievements to those of his predecessor, Gov Okpebholo, during a rally in Benin City. The governor stated that he had been told that he had done more in just 8 months in terms of development than the 8 years of his predecessor. Let's take a look.
It is painful for somebody to serve a master for 8 years and nothing to show for it.
Now, this statement he made, as a matter of fact, was one of the earliest statements, something in this, in the neighborhood of this, that he made, when he was starting his campaign as an aspirant and even as a candidate. And I just thought that, no. Anybody with this mentality, and it is this mentality that's a problem to everything about our politics today. It's this mentality that when you are in a political party, or you're a member of a ruling party, or you have been given an appointment, you must have personal benefits. The governor echoed this when he talked about leaders crying, without the executive governor rewarding them and all of that. And you begin to ask yourself, what are these people called leaders? What are they actually doing? Are they manufacturers? Are they employers of labor? These are people who, many of whom are just accidents of history. And the mentality that the governor seemed to have, that when you serve as a commissioner or as SSC or whatever it is, you must have some personal package of benefits. I think that honestly is appalling, and it's a major bane, and it is the citadel, for which politicians today cling on to siphon the resources of the people and all of that. Because the whole idea today in Nigeria is that when you serve as a political leader in whatever capacity it is, you should be very rich. You must personally have benefits. And the governor has always echoed this. Please, if you are there, I'm gonna call Okpebholo or his aides. This is not good. You understand? Governor Okpebholo needs to understand that governance must be seen as service for the glory of it. The idea that, people serve in government must, as a result of that, become stupendously rich, and it's a given as expressed by the governor of Edo State currently, and as always, as he has always expressed, I find it very troubling. So I want to lay that to them, but I need to talk about that, because honestly, everything about our politics today and the reason why we are where we are is as a result of this, where people assume office in whatever capacity, and at the end of the day, they all become self-serving. We see today in President Tinubu and his administration. We've seen it before the even Tinubu. Everywhere people just take advantage of the Nigerian state. And at the end of the day, go not they go, come not they come. You understand? For the general, populace and all of that. So I think that mentality, honestly, is not nice. Now, these issues are of your administration being better than Obaseki's 8 years. To be honest with you, Governor Okpebholo, please, when I share this broadcast, I want this broadcast is the governor of Edo State. An idea like this is the beginning of failure. You have done 8 years, 8 months, and people are beginning to tell you that your 8 months is better than 8 years of Obaseki. I find this very, very troubling. Governor Okpebholo, I'd like you to understand, I'm addressing you directly, that first, the privilege you've had to become governor of Edo State, by whatever means, okay? You are not in competition. Try to have it at the back of your mind, because you sound like you are in competition with Obaseki. You are not in competition with Obaseki. Obaseki has done his 8 years and he's left the scene. It is your time now to do your own. Do not look at every step you take as a competition with Obaseki. And it is very, very sad that you give ears to people who come to you to tell you that your 8 months is better than that of Obaseki's 8 years. I think that, and to even come out publicly to acknowledge it, is for me very, very disappointing. Because at the end of the day, what that suggests to me, and probably to very many Edo State people and Nigerians, is that you are surrounding yourself with people who are just going to aslick you, political jobbers, who will just tell you what they think you like to hear as advisors or whatever it is, and they make your head swell. And that ultimately will lead to your failure. If you don't understand, know it now. I think you should even be more comfortable with people who are critical, constructively critical of your governance, than people who come to tell you stories like this. And if you may know, sir, your 8 months so far is in nowhere near anything of Obaseki. I am one of those who was very critical in the later months of Obaseki. Very critical of his administration. Not because Obaseki was a disaster or a total failure, but there were certain structural things I just saw, in the man that I thought, this is not good. But for you to just stay here and say your 8 months so far, because I will not take anything away from you. I'll give you your flowers for what you've done with, Edo land. I'll give you your flowers on that. But that is as far as it's gone. It's been. So the idea, or anybody comes to tell you things like this and you echo this publicly, sir, is an embarrassment to Edo State. And I think you shouldn't do that again. And you shouldn't put it on your head to think that you're in competition, like I said before, with Obaseki. Do your bit. Edo State people will truly judge who, amongst not just the two of you, every governor that has served those states, from Bender State, and those people are the ones who are truly going to judge, who has impacted, the people the most. You have a project right now which I thought is also very good if you're able to complete it, which is this flyover bypass, project. I thought it's going to, but for me, if it's completed and it's well done, it's going to take away a lot of, traffic pressure from the people, and of course, ultimately, expectedly boost economic activities. I think you should concentrate on these deliverables. Now, beyond this, sir, those state people, I stand to be corrected. You understand what I'm saying now? I'm not yet seeing. You have made some promises. I've followed some of them. I'm listening. I'm not talking about them because I really want to see them materialize. And like I said, if you do well, I would have not supporting you for whatever you do. On the merit of whatever you have done that is positive, and I think, I will speak to them. But when it's also time to criticize you, I will criticize you. And I think that's what I'm doing right now. I think that this, cocky-headedness over a statement like this, you understand, coming from a statement like this is dangerous for your future. It is going to, pin you down, and it's probably going to allow the people around you to make you more at the expense of Edo State development. You have started your commissioning for Edo line. I hope you guys are able to manage it so it does not eventually become a disaster like some people are projecting. So I think you've done Edo line now, is up and running. I think you need to also put proper management in place to ensure that return on investment on Edo line is achieved to the benefit of the generality of Edo State people. You have promised that you are going to, do the roads leading to Ekpoma, Irua, and all of those, axes. And I think that is equally very laudable if you can get them done. More than those roads, there are also very important roads in Edo State. You understand what I'm saying? That kind of link every part of this country. Federal roads. Now that you have, what's it called? Your father in Aso Rock, you probably should use that relationship you have with Tinubu to get some of those roads fixed so that Edo State roads can be more motorable. On the merit of these, Edo State people will acknowledge that you are trying. But there's so much more to do. Now, most importantly, Governor Okpebholo, I'd like to advise you, very importantly, because as much as I'm not your fan, neither am I a fan of a political party, because you are governing Edo State, I dearly, honestly do wish that you succeed in the interest of Edo State people. I also want to advise you. Obaseki left some things, done that I thought are brilliant. Do not jettison those things. We've not heard anything about the Oshomo power plant. I don't know how the management of Oshomo power plant was before Obaseki left, but that was a brilliant project that many of us campaigned with when we were supporting Obaseki. Unfortunately, somehow, midway into the matter, somehow nobody heard anything anymore. And from the recent report I got about the Oshomo power plant, it looks like the matter itself, you don't become a white elephant project. I want to appeal to you. There is no crime in picking up projects done by a predecessor that they may not have completed or they may not have been put to full use. I think I should look into Oshomo power plant because the federal government have already, even under Buhari, sort of downgraded the list of power generation from exclusive list to concurrent list, which means that state government now cannot come up with the initiative of generating electricity. I think that if you are able to tap into the potential of Oshomo power plant, expand the project, you probably may be one governor who could help to stabilize power in Edo State. And if you're able to do that and give that to Edo State people, believe me, sir, you will be greatly acknowledged. Greatly acknowledged. Because whether we like it or not, if there's stability of power, the stability of electricity in Edo State, right? Believe me, economic activities in the state will improve. Nobody wants to be spoon-fed. Nobody's asking Okpebholo to come and put food on their table. But give them the means to be able to fend for themselves. And when economic activities increases in a state like that, crime will reduce because people will have, they will give their time to things that are, constructive. And while you are doing all of this, I'm advising if you are able to look into them and do them, jettison this idea that, your 10 months or your 9 months or your 1 year is better than you are not in competition with Obaseki. Obaseki has done his own. The things that Obaseki has not completed, I think that you should look at the good ones in them and try to complete them. And try to expand on them, make them more beneficial to the Edo State people. Now, take you on one thing. Obaseki did something very nice. Now, how you are handling it now, I don't know. Obaseki came up with this e-governance system. And that thing, in a lot of ways, helped to reduce Agberoism. It is nauseating, sir. It is very bad that in this day and age, we still have people, in the name of whatever gas it is, who still go from market to market to be giving ticket to traders to pay as revenue generation, blah, 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 blah. Bro, sir, I want to appeal to you, sir. Obaseki came up with a brilliant idea. That is, for people who are paid into government coffers by way of their taxes or revenue or whatever it is that's giving revenue to the state, sir, make it very independent. Let people go to the bank and pay what their dues are supposed to be. And hold their tellers, and so that when the enforcers come, all they need to do is to show their proof of payment. And that's it. Nobody right now should be empowered to be collecting money from people in the name of come and pay your dues, come and pay your dues. We are taking it to government. Honestly, that in this day and age is encouraging Agberoism. And I tell you, Edo State people don't want to see Agberoism anymore. Obaseki has done well to reduce Agberoism to the barest minimum. And I tell you, sir, from what we hear, word on the street, that you may not hear, because people are telling you that your 8 months is better than Obaseki's 8 years, they will never tell you the truth about what is really happening in the streets. If you are able to do that, and those people will judge you on that as well, because that will be positive. You understand what I'm saying now? And government can truly track the IGRO of Edo State. So let people go to the bank or take the banks to the people so that they pay their adequate dues to government. And don't use, Agberos in whatever guise or name or whatever it is to collect, a state revenue. That is not nice. That again will constitute nuisance. And those people honestly don't want to see that. Now, beyond that, there's something I want to tell you. I did tell this to Obaseki and of course to people around Obaseki. When Obaseki was coming for his second term, and those state people came together to support him. People had different reasons. But one overwhelming reason why Obaseki had a lot of support was because people wanted to reduce the impact of godfatherism. Now, beyond godfatherism and all of that things, added to that matter. One major reason I keyed into that support base and support of Obaseki was this: I expected and I thought that Nigeria, the wider Nigeria, is honestly bad. It's porous. I expected and I did hope that Obaseki will govern Edo State like an independent state from Nigeria. Now, what I'm trying to say is this: we have countries in this world that are surviving, that are doing well, which population, it's not even as big as Edo State, but they are independent, they are sovereign. And they don't even have have the resources we have as a state. My expectation under a Nigeria where things are not working was to have an executive governor who will also be a commander-in-chief of the state, using the resources within to develop the state in such a way that the state will be economically independent. That whether allocation comes or derivation comes or the other one comes, the state will be self-sustaining by creating multiple, avenues and creating an enabling environment where economic activities will thrive in the state and the people will be economically independent. And run the state in a way that people will come and say, no, this doesn't look like Nigeria, as like part of Nigeria. And I think that we can do it. And I'm also advising, sir, from the other side, as your critic. Now, if you look inwards, if you could look inwards and look at this state, if you want to seek further advice, okay, some of us are willing to advise freely. We don't even want to be mentioned. Look inwards. See how this state can run without depending on handouts from the federal government of Nigeria. We have everything within. Obaseki at some point was getting nearly 6 billion as IGR. And I think that Edo State can actually even do more. So if you could look inwards, look at our agricultural sector, see how you can beef security around the length and breadth of Edo State, reduce the impact of kidnapping and all of those activities that are not nice, encourage our people to go back to farm, ensure that within your first 4 years, there's food security in Edo State. And this food security will be occasioned by the investment you have put into securing our farms, the investment you put into ensuring that our farmers are encouraged to go back to the farms, and ensuring that whatever yield comes from our farm, first and foremost, should feed Edo State people before any other thing. If you could do that, probably at the end of your 4 years, people may start having a conversation near this. Apart from just agriculture, that has the capacity to employ everybody that's unemployed in Edo State, there are so many other things that you can look at. That if you can just sit there and say, look, I am governor, even though I'm governor, I am the commander-in-chief of Edo State. And I want to govern Edo State like I'm the president of Edo State. Using what is in Edo State to build and develop Edo State and Edo State people. So believe me, you probably will just set your agenda and set your path to a path of proper success. If you could do this. I did expect, I did advise, and I did hope that Obaseki was going to govern Edo State like that. Unfortunately, for whatever reason it was, the advice probably wasn't taken or wasn't considered important, or, probably they wanted to, for whatever reason, they didn't just really succeed at that. But the man has done his bit. There are things, notable things in Edo State that can be, that Obaseki we can be given credit for. That under his supervision as governor of Edo State, he ensured that some of those things are in place. Even your Bakawaye, where I believe that's where you lost the Edo land and all of that. Obaseki, that's Obaseki's project. We can't take it away from him. We must give him his flowers. So at the end of the day, I beg you, sir, your 8 months as governor of Edo State is in nowhere near Obaseki's 8 years. And personally, I'm not going to make any comparison. I'm going to judge you on the merit of what you are doing and have done. Lastly, sir, this is where I'm going to round off on this matter. Gov Okpebholo, I'm going to beg you seriously, if you will listen. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, like you have said, is your political father now. And every statement you make publicly, there is sometimes a portion to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It seems to me that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu 2027 re-election is a lot more important to you than Edo State development, because that appears to be the fulcrum of your governance as we speak today. And it's very nauseating for us to listen to you, talk about Bola Tinubu's election of 2027, promising 2 million votes, which doesn't exist in Edo State. I don't know if you've been told. Promise to give Bola Tinubu 2 million votes in Edo State. There is nothing like 2 million votes in Edo State. It doesn't exist. It has never existed. It will not exist in 2027. So that is what's it called? That is a reference that is not good. Whatever you want to do with Bola Ahmed Tinubu's re-election, campaign for him, support him, do this, do that, sir, understand that you are primarily elected to govern Edo State. And Edo State want to see you talk about the issues of Edo State and how to tackle the issues of Edo State primarily before any other thing. And if you concentrate on that, that'll be good. Importantly and summarily, sir, because this has been echoed by some people, your next election that you are probably looking at is 2028, and you have been told that if Bola Ahmed Tinubu is president in 2027, then you are guaranteed a second term in 2028. Let me advise you, Gov Okpebholo. A lot happened in the election that brought you to office, right? Do not bank on what happened to happen again. Do not give your full, trust. Edo State people played some very funny role to allow some of those things that happen, in your election to happen. A similar thing would have happened. I'll give you a clear example. In Obaseki's second term re-election. But the overwhelming support of Edo State people for Obaseki prevented that from happening. So apparently, Edo State people waged a very strong war against politicians that wanted to do what they did in this last election. So what I'm trying to say in effect is this: Gov Okpebholo, work assiduously and let those people have deliverables under your government in these first 4 years. You will not need to depend on whether Tinubu wins his re-election or not. If you have governed well and the people can attest to it and feel, the impact of your good governance, you don't need anybody to win your re-election. The job you've done will speak for you. Granted, you came from nowhere. You contested to become governor of Edo State. And you had the powers that be. Obaseki, what's his name? The presidency, all of them. So people have alleged that you actually don't win the election. I cannot speak to that, I don't know. That results were changed. That's the argument people are making. Now, how far that is true, I may not be able to, speak to that. I cannot independently confirm or verify any of that. But that the election was greatly compromised on the field and every other thing, I can speak to that because I had people on the field who saw a lot of things happen. Now that is gone. You are sat there now, okay? Either by providence or whatever it is. You are the governor of Edo State right now. Sir, focus on deliverables. There's so much money coming into Edo State by the internally generated revenue, from the federal allocation, from our small derivation, and from all other means necessary. That will be enough under this your 4 years to give an affirmative repositioning to Edo State. If you know what you are doing, you will not beg in 2028 to be re-elected governor of Edo State. The works that you have put in place, they will speak for you. The election will not need to be compromised to get you elected. And because I'm saying this, because in 2028, 2027 may be a shocker, because the frustration in the land today, you cannot pretend not to be aware. Your president is governing Nigeria very, very badly. He has borrowed life out of Nigeria. And yet Nigerians don't feel the impact of borrowing. The same president right now that you are speaking positively about and every other thing, you cannot, as a matter of fact, nobody can say this is one positive impact of Tinubu's presidency on Nigerians. It's not there. So before 2027 election, I can tell you of a fact that the failure of Tinubu, if he continues like this, will galvanize Nigerians a lot more than they saw in 2023. So all of the permutations about, oh, he's sad as president, oh, people are, politicians are, cross-carpeting or the camping, everybody's not APC. I can tell you, sir, let the whole world of politicians decamp to APC. The frustration is real. And what's his name? Peter Obi, for instance, I mentioned him. His popularity is not because he's a specialist. It is the failure of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that is currently making Peter Obi popular and trend. Because if Bola Ahmed Tinubu had set Nigeria on a proper path of recovery and progress, and the people are feeling it, the popularity of Peter Obi right now would be zero. The only people pre-singing Bola Ahmed Tinubu are politicians who are hoping to secure their own political positions because they believe Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the only one who can do it for them. And some, without due respect, people who are ethnic bigots, Yorubas, some of them, not all of them, who think that it is also their turn. So it doesn't matter whether the president is good or is bad, so long as it's a Yoruba man, it's okay. Those are the people you see that are pre-singing Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Even inside them, they all know that Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government is a one-chance government for Nigerians. I am saying this because the people who are telling you that your 8 months is better than Obaseki's 8 years, they will not tell you this truth. And therefore, they want to share them so that hopefully this governor will see him or his aides will see him. Because I'm trying to help him. So I'm making you understand, see, his only pathway, the most assured pathway to becoming a second-term governor in Edo State is to work and have deliverables as governor in Edo State. And be a governor that people will say, man, this one is different. Probably be a governor that people will say, man, this is the best we have ever seen. And that is going to come by the things you have promised to do and that are in place. And if you could, like I said, do all these things, govern Edo State irrespective of whatever is happening around Nigeria, from east to west to north, and make Edo State the place of abundance and secured. I tell you, 4 years' time, you don't need to do anything. People now go call say, no, we don't want any other person. That's what we want. Some of us right now will be your critic right now. We probably will be the ones who will be saying it will be the front line of support for you. But if you are banking or say, Bola Tinubu don't do it before, he go do it again, you may be heading for a colossal failure. Because 2027 is going to test the will of Nigerian people. The frustration of Nigerian people is going to be on the front burner when it comes to 2027. The hunger in the land, the insecurity in the land is going to be on the front burner. And I hope that there will be no explosion. Because things are coming to a head already as we speak. Even before 2027 election. So do not bank on anything. Tomorrow is not a given. It's not assured. So as governor of Edo State, use sense. Take concentrate on your work. If you carry Edo State money, take bribe, they give money to people when they call leaders in the nation, they go deliver for Bola Ahmed Tinubu with Edo State money, and that distracts you from governing Edo State. Okpebholo, a word is enough for the wise. Edo State people, I just think I can't touch on this matter medically because when I saw this caption, my 8 months is better than Years of Obaseki, I just said, look, pride comment before it fall. Make we know we go talk put. I know we just present say I don't see this matter because it's a very sad this thing. But meanwhile, I don't know whether I don't hear of Brisk VTU. Are they involved in this matter? If you there abroad, you did diaspora, you want recharge your meter, if you get prepaid meter or phone for mama, papa, for everybody, please download the app Brisk VTU. Are they involved? I've been one of the CEOs of Brisk VTU. You understand what I'm saying? And we set up and it's working fine. People are already subscribing to it. And I just say I will use this platform to also talk about Brisk VTU. I'll be one of the critical CEOs of Brisk VTU, and a lot of people are using it. You did that probably anywhere in this world. You want to top up, your prepaid meter, telephone for anybody for Nigeria. You don't even need to send them money from your phone. You just do it. Bam, 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 bam. You understand? And you can even set up your own promo code inside the Brisk VTU on our Sharam. And for everything when anybody do, when you use your promo code, you also get your own business. So I made it. They made it even go round. But just take a listen to this and you'll probably get the idea. And I'll come to Okpebholo before I round off.
Stressing about how to send money home for bills? What if you could handle it in seconds? With Brisk VTU, you can top up airtime, pay for electricity, cable TV, and more. Right from your phone. No middleman, no delays. Just instant transactions at the best rates. Stay connected, support your loved ones, and enjoy cashbacks while at it. Download the app today. Brisk VTU. Fast, easy, rewarding.
So my guys, so now this Brisk VTU, I'm bringing it to you guys. Not be say I did do this talk for anybody. I am one of the CEOs of Brisk VTU. I'm one of the owners, you know what I'm saying, of Brisk VTU. This is not my own matter. You can download it for a try. Brisk VTU, just download them. Check them out. If you get any issues, you have my number, call me, and of course, it will be resolved. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my friends are already using it. Anywhere you do in this world, you want to do anything in Nigeria, anything you want, recharge phone for loved ones, you want send credits, you want recharge electricity, prepaid meter, and all of those things, you can do it directly from here, from Brisk VTU. I don't need to talk too much. Just download Brisk VTU and you explore all of these things. If you have any questions, any issues, just call me directly. You understand what I'm saying? Support your own. This is not our own matter. This is not be Mark Zuckerberg matter. Not be MTN or any of these international things. Now they run this one and it's working like no this thing inside. Download this and give it a shot. You see what I'm talking about. So that's for that matter, gentlemen. So I come back to my brother and of course our Governor Okpebholo, just to round off. I'm making this broadcast because I love Edo State. And contrary to what people may actually think, I'm a constructive critic of this governor. Constructive because I actually, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I want him to succeed, to govern Edo State well. And I don't want him to have this cocky head of thinking that he's in competition with Obaseki or everything he does. Come on, he should just. That's why I do this broadcast. I've seen that he's taking some steps that may lead to huge errors. That's why I do all this. So when I share, hopefully the governor will see him. He may learn one or two things from it. You understand what I'm saying now? But if not, we are still here. Every step of the way, now Edo State, we're going to talk about it. On that note, my people, God bless you. And I'm not going to not forget, if you are watching from wherever and you do Facebook, I am building this page. It is called TCS Blog. We go use this page for info. If you didn't, I see Comrade Show. You understand what I'm saying? But it's just a backup page to the Comrade Show. If you can follow us on this page, I would appreciate it. The link is there. If you check our own caption for there, you'll see the link there. Just click on the link. Give us a follow if you could. I will appreciate it. But on that note, my people, I say God will bless you. I will see you again when we see. It is the Comrade Show, and my name, as always, is Comrade Lante Moussa Oriahi. Bye for now.
Make Comrade Show with Comrade Lante Oriahi. This is the Comrade Show.